What's going on, guys? Welcome back, LEOPAZZO Productions. Thank you very much for tuning in. In today's video, we're going to be having a closer look at the Cinetreak Cinelive C1 video switcher. This is an all-in-one video switcher which has a 5.5-inch display screen. We can actually directly live stream from the switcher to two social media platforms at the same time. And I'm currently right now recording my live stream, or should I say whatever I'm broadcasting here, my output from my video switcher, to a USB hard drive or flash memory stick. And that's basically what I'm going to be showing you guys. That's what you guys are watching. You guys are watching whatever I'm recording to the USB flash drive. And that's basically just another feature that we have here within the video switcher. So we can stream with the switcher at 1080p 60 frames per second, and I'm also recording this, as I just mentioned, to the USB flash drive at 1080p at 60 frames per second. So in today's video, I just wanted to kind of go over my setup over here. You guys can see my behind the scenes. I have one camera right here that is facing me, the talking head camera we'll call it. I have my top down camera, which is my Panasonic GH7, and I also have two PCs that I'm basically have a pre-recorded video of the switcher. It's some B-roll shots of the switcher, and I have it playing on each one of my PCs on full screen, on loop, and I'm sending the HDMI from my PC to the video switcher. So that's basically my setup. Those are my 4 HDMI inputs. And the reason why I'm doing that for this example, for this video, because I actually only currently own two cameras, my Z Cam, which is my talking head shot, and my GH6, which is my top down shot. So I wanted to kind of basically take full advantage of the video switcher on all 4 HDMI inputs. So therefore, that's what I did. I've connected my two PCs HDMI input to my video switcher. So let's just go ahead and give you guys a different view, and we'll have a look at all the other inputs, etc. In this video, I don't want it to be too long, but I do want to share a bunch of information with you just to kind of at least get you started or more familiar with the switcher. There's so much information, so if I do miss something, obviously, I apologize. I'm not going to be able to cover everything, especially within the menu and all the settings and everything. So feel free to let me know any comments that you guys may have in the comment section down below. So again, right now we are currently looking at HDMI input number 2. Let's have a closer look at HDMI input number 1, which is my top-down view over here. This is a fantastic view over here for you guys, I think, because it's basically showing you the switcher. It's showing my external monitor, which is my HDMI output number 1, and my HDMI output number 2. So these are two external monitors that I've connected to the HDMI outputs to this video switcher, and now I can monitor what my viewers are actually looking at right here on this screen, and also right over here on this screen. And partially why I've set up two of them, because why would I need to look at two of the exact same thing? Well, again, just trying to take advantage and show you the options that we have here with the video switcher. 4 HDMI inputs, which are these first 4 cables, 2 HDMI outputs. And unfortunately, not really so much of a bad thing, but it would be nice if these 2 HDMI outputs, if one of them could be the preview multi-screen that can kind of show you all of your HDMI inputs, but unfortunately they don't have that option within the switcher. It basically, both of the HDMI outputs are going to be showing us our PGM, basically what we're going to be showing our live stream to our viewers. So the final output over here. So that's just something that consider that if you really needed to have another preview, multi-view screen, this switcher is not going to be able to offer that. And again, it does have a built-in multi-screen that we're going to be able to see all of our inputs and our menu and everything like that right here built into the switcher. So all in all, we have everything that we need that's built into the switcher. We don't even really need these external monitors, but it's just kind of nice to have so we can actually see what we are streaming to our viewers. So now that you're a little bit more familiar with the HDMI inputs and outputs, just next to that we do have a UVC output, which is the USB-C connection, and we can actually connect the switcher to our PC, and we can actually stream from our PC instead. If you don't want to actually stream from the switcher itself directly, we can send whatever we are recording from the switcher, we can send that directly to the, for an example, like Zoom or OBS or vMix or whatever it is. So that is basically an option that we have over here via the UVC. Just next to that, you'll notice this yellow cable. This is the Ethernet going to the switcher. Just next to that, we have the power cable, which is obviously powering the switcher. Just to the left of the switcher, we do have an on and off switch. Just to the next to the on and off switch, we do also have some ventilation, little grills, so it can kind of intake and exhaust some fresh air and get rid of some of that old air or warm air. And also this has a built-in fan, and I do have it set and configured to auto. We can turn it high or low or off, but I do have it set to auto, and it's not loud, it's not bothering me. I think auto is probably your best bet. So looking over here again at the switcher, we can have the T-bar handle that's going to allow us to make that transition. Again, the menu, the little knob over here. We have fade to black, which is going to be fading it to black or fade in from black. And also it's going to be cutting out our audio or fading our audio. So here's a quick little example. Okay, so as you can see, just basically fading it in and out from black. Okay, we also do have the cut button, which is just going to make a nice fast transition. Again, the auto button right over here. So just going over to the effects button over here, just kind of getting ahead a little bit. But basically, I'm going to go ahead and change the effect to, for an example, to mix. So now when I press the auto, you can see that the transition is basically mix. It's kind of fading. Okay, so the next option, for an example, is dip to color. So now when I go ahead and make that transition, it's kind of configured to be black. So now when it makes that transition, it's going to be fading between the two input sources and black in between. And we have all of these different types of wipes. For an example, we have this wipe that we can pick from. We have this wipe that we can pick from. There's a variety of them over here within the menu that you can configure and see which one works best for you. So again, just starting over here to the right hand side, the T-bar handle, we're familiar with that. The menu button over here to get into the menu, which is going to be displayed right over here onto the screen. This little control knob is going to allow us to go through the menu, and you can press down on this control knob to actually access the settings and whatnot within the menu. Fade to black we're familiar with. Cut transition we're familiar with. The auto transition we're familiar with as well. Next over here, we do have the still, which is going to allow us to load our still image along with the pattern over here, which is some other stuff that we can kind of look at further within the menu. Over here, we have four buttons over here labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, and you'll notice that they are green, and they are green because it's going to basically, if we wanted to select input number 4, it's going to show that into the preview. If I wanted to look at input number 3, it's going to show me that into the preview. So looking over here to the top left hand corner, you'll notice that we do have this lock button. So if I go ahead and press this lock button over here, it's basically going to lock all of the buttons here on the video switcher, and you can see the lock icon, and it's also flashing in red. So this is a nice little feature just in case if you're pretty sure that you don't need to make any transitions or kind of touch any settings or controls on the switcher. For an example, if you need to walk away, we can lock it so it basically won't get pressed any buttons or any different settings by mistake. So to unlock it, just go ahead and press the unlock button. We do have the mute button, pretty straightforward. It's going to mute all of our audio along with our PGM that's being sent out to our viewers. We do have the logo button over here, which is going to go ahead and display my logo. And again, you can go within the menu, go to the logo here, logo position, and we can position the logo wherever you want. Again, you can load these logos via the USB drive at the side over here of the video switcher. Okay, so for an example, if you're done with the logo, you don't want it being displayed anymore, you can just go ahead and simply turn it off. Just next to logo, you do have the audio button, which is going to bring up all of these audio level controls and gains and inputs, and we can basically use this PTZ little joystick to kind of go between whatever input you want to be able to control. So right now, input number 4, which is my HDMI number 4, it's actually currently turned off because you can see that it's in gray. But if I wanted to turn on that audio, I can just go ahead and activate it by pressing this little control knob down, and now we're going to getting some audio for my input number 4. Again, to turn it down or to turn it off, you can just go ahead and press that. If I wanted to turn on the audio from HDMI number 3, again, just scroll over to input number 3 and turn it on like so. If I wanted to adjust the audio, I can do that right over here by controlling the control knob. So if you're done with the audio controls over here, you can just press the audio button The effect button, again, we briefly looked at it. This is all the transitions. And again, you can just scroll over here through this little dial to adjust the transition that you want to use. Next over here, let's go to scenes. So scenes is basically picture in picture, like a macro. So you can basically have two input sources side by side, or like a bigger input beside a smaller one into the corner. So these would be good, options for you to basically set up your scenes and your different types of looks. To kind of give you guys an example, we might as well go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and select A and B side by side. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on, and now I can go ahead and basically make that transition and show you guys what I have over here. So again, two video input sources. Just having a look at the next buttons over here, A and B, you'll notice that they're both illuminated. So for an example, say I wanted to change this input over here, which is actually number 3. See how number 3 is green? That is number 3 right over there, HDMI 3. So say I don't want it to be that one. I want to go ahead and make it to go to HDMI 1. So now you guys can go ahead and see this view. You guys can see this. This is actually a great setup over here. Top down, you guys can see what I'm doing, and at the same time you guys can see me talking to you guys. So that's where the A and B comes into control, into effect over here. Okay, so now just back to the full screen so you guys can see everything a little bit better. What I wanted to do next over here, I just wanted to go back to scenes, and I wanted to turn off that A and B scene so we can just basically get a full screen next time I go ahead and make that switch. We got Chroma Key and Luma Key functions over here, which we can basically configure within the menu. So that's going to be very helpful as far as green screen. So again, Chroma Key and Luma Key, we can do that within this video switcher. Again, the record button, which we're recording, again, you can see it flashing in green. We're recording to the USB stick. And also we got the stream button over here. We go ahead and press the stream button once you have the internet connected and the IP address all kind of configured, and also your stream key. You can go ahead and press stream and stream directly to 2 social media platforms, 1080p, 60 frames per second. And just over here underneath stream and record, we do have the cam in the position. So if I did have PTZ cameras connected to the switcher as inputs, I can go ahead and press the camera, and that's going to allow me to toggle through which camera I want to control the position of, or the focus, or the exposure and whatnot, or the zoom. So those are very fantastic. Unfortunately, I do not own at the moment a PTZ camera, but hopefully in the near future I can. So I can connect it to the switcher. I can select the camera that I want to control, the position, and get it all configured within the menu. So I think we're pretty familiar with all the buttons over here. At least we're all familiar with all the inputs and outputs that we have here at the back of the switcher. Again, 4 HDMI ins, 2 HDMI outs, the UVC, which is going to allow us to stream to social media, or allow us to stream via our PC. Again, the Ethernet, the power cable. We got the power switch. We got some fans here onto the left hand side, or ventilation should I say. Over here at the bottom of the switcher here, or the front basically facing me on this side, we do have 1/4-20 thread, so we can mount it to, like for an example, a little mount or tripod or stand. So as far as mounting options, again, we got the back, the 4 of them at the back. We got the one here onto the front. We do have 2 microphone inputs over here. I'm currently connected to microphone input number 1, and again, I do have it set to line input because I'm using the Zoom H4n Pro recorder. This recorder is giving my shotgun microphone. It's giving the shotgun microphone over here phantom power via XLR, and then from there the output via the 3.5mm auxiliary cable is being sent. The output from the recorder is being sent to the video switcher microphone number 1, and again it's set to line input. We do have another microphone jack, input jack, which again we can connect another microphone or another line in. Just next to those 2 microphone inputs, we do also have a headphone jack, so we can monitor the audio with headphones. And just next to that, we do have the tally output, which is a USB-C connection, which is going to allow us to basically connect a tally device and connect to our other cameras. So anytime that camera is live as a camera operator, the red light will illuminate on that camera that is live, that is active, that is being streamed to the viewers or broadcasted, for an example, in your PGM. So the camera operator would actually know that that camera is active and it's actually being broadcasted. Okay, so that is a nice feature, and I'm really surprised to see that here on this budget-friendly video switcher. And again, lastly over here, we do have the USB flash drive right now, which again is recording this live stream. So all in all, guys, I think we did a nice little quick little tour of my setup over here. The manual is nice and detailed. You can access online. It also came with it, obviously, so we can spend some time reading through the manual. It's going to take some time getting used to the switcher, and overall I'm very impressed with it. If you guys do have any comments or questions, concerns, let me know down in the comment section down below. I really have been enjoying this video switcher, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on the next video. Till next time, peace.